Okay, we got a lot of news in.
This is Friday, August 23rd, 2013, and we are talking tonight about, of course, what's going on in the news. Yesterday there was a major chemical attack in Syria, and as you may know, there's no U.S. reporters on the ground in Syria because they're not allowed on the ground. Now, according to one of our chatters, Meow TV2, he said that he lives in France, and he said that there are certain news agencies on the ground in Syria, specifically AFP, which stands for Agency France Presse, and also France 24.
Okay.
And according to those agencies, according to our chatter, Meow TV2, that the Syrian gas the gas that was used in the attack has been tested for a signature to see where did this gas originate from, because Syria, they're not producing chemical weapons right now, but they so the gas, according to that, originated from the U.S., from Maryland specifically.
Wow, this is a bombshell of sorts. When you think about false information coming at us from the U.S. news and from other news agencies. Now, I understand that the government of France has endorsed a strike against Syria. That's what they're asking for, and they're asking for immediate action. This could be the work of the IMF, the World Bank, working through NATO to establish the final takedown of yet one more monetary system that has held out against the World Bank's authority, and that would be Syria. Syria has their own monetary system, their own control over their own dollars, and they are independent. And the World Bank, the IMF, does not like that.
There's also a couple other theories. That one theory is that we are surrounding, like if you go with the idea that perhaps there's an influence by the Muslim Brotherhood, that perhaps they're trying to surround Israel and
Right.
Control Syria, because actually Assad is pro-Christian, or at least pro-freedom in some ways, and the rebels that are attacking are Muslim Brotherhood, are Al-Qaeda, and
Right.
so they're trying to surround Israel and keep it in check.
You know, this is a very interesting evolution of sorts. Almost every single war that America's been in has involved moneyed interests. And in this particular case, starting a war in Syria, it makes no sense at all. In fact, Syria itself is a direct connection with Russia, and I believe Russia has the power necessary to create quite a huge problem for America long term if we don't start working with that country. So let's face it, going into Syria, attacking Syria, it may appease the World Bank, but it's not going to help world relations. Russia is a potential ally for America, and that we should look at a long-term goal, and I can tell you that Obama is not. Obama canceled a summit meeting recently because of this
Right.
Edward Snowden thing. It's absurd. Why would he hold world peace hostage so that we could somehow make a little childish remark about Edward Snowden? I mean, this is ridiculous. We can't even apprehend him. I mean, Edward Snowden shouldn't stand in the way of world peace, folks.
Exactly. Now, I agree that the president, and also the president, I do think something needs to happen in Syria, of course, with this, but we need more information. We need to know
More
from
information.
our sources what's the signature of this, because and the other thing, I just saw an interview with Obama on Syria. Basically, he said, oh, well, we can't do anything without the support of the UN or without a UN mandate.
Right.
And some people say that he's doing that so basically to cover his own end, one, and two, to involve everyone in a World War III type situation.
Which is all bad. Every bit of that is bad, nefarious, and does not serve the greater good for all people in this world is in jeopardy of being hijacked by people with tons of money because they think that we're running out of resources, when in fact we've got tons of resources. There's tons of oil in the ground. Look at North Dakota. You're seeing the Bakken oil fields, a big boom for American economies. You're seeing major oil developments. They just discovered an oil supply much, much larger than the Middle East in Australia.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Australia.
yeah. So there's
Nice.
all this oil. Why would this world be clinching down? Well, the real reason is people are trying to consolidate power. And that is something that's bad. Now, we at America's Third Party believe in the nation state model. We believe that Syria should take care of Syria. America should take care of America. And we shouldn't be meddling in other countries. In contrast to what the Democrats and Republicans are in favor, which is this global government, globalization, sharing of resources. I believe that's exactly what we don't need in America. We need to get our country back. We need to protect our resources, and we need to realize that other countries and other world leaders, especially the rich ones, don't care about our future. They've proven it time and time again, now starting and triggering war around the world with this propaganda. I'd like to know exactly what happened in Syria. I want to know exactly what was the cause of this, and when we find that out, I'm sure we'll be able to get to better solutions. But right now, relief in Jordan is exactly what we should be doing, focusing on providing relief in Jordan, because
And
obviously
Iraq.
we don't want to send more people to Iraq, because Iraq still has major sectarian
Yeah,
violence problems.
They definitely do.
Jordan is more stable. So we need to up our support of Jordan and remain in the perimeter. Don't take an active interest. And I think that Chuck Hagel, our current Secretary of Defense, would probably agree with me on that. Yeah, I don't have green hair, folks. It's the lighting. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
your
It's
hair
fluorescent
is
when it
great.
hits blonde, turns green.
Yes.
But thank you.
Yeah.
Our Friday night show is supposed to be Fun Friday, so we're going to talk about some other things besides just these topics, but let's stay on topic.
When you were talking about the large oil field being found in Australia,
Right.
things I didn't realize that. That's
These
pretty
are just
cool.
popping up, yeah.
But one thing I would want to talk about oil for just a minute, because I have this whole theory that there's a lot of oil here in the U.S., specifically in the Midwest.
Yes, definitely.
And also, of course, North Dakota has shale. But I
Right.
personally have this theory on oil.
Okay.
My theory on oil is that if it is, well, one, it might not be a, what is it? Not
Limited resource.
Limited resource, right?
That's the,
that's actually your theory that you've brought to me.
I believe that it may not be a limited resource. There may be oil cooking inside the earth.
Yeah, it might be kind of like a rock.
Yeah.
Because it is found in rocks, but it's like a liquid, a specialized liquid
Right.
that's found
Liquid
within
carbon.
a rock.
Liquid
and then,
carbon.
My other theory is with it is that many Americans might believe it's a limited resource. Even some of the elite might believe it's limited.
They might believe
And
it's limited, yeah.
if they believe that,
Mm-hmm.
and they know that there is oil here in the U.S., they're not using it because they want to use up all of the oil in the rest of the
Right.
world first,
Right.
so that when they do need to use the oil here in the U.S., it'll be at a highest value.
Highest value then. Now, what we're dealing with here is breaking the back of moneyed interests. Big time problem, folks. Moneyed interests control the two parties. They control the very engine of their political structure and the control over the media.
Yeah, who was it that said, "I care not who, makes the laws, or if you tell me who controls the money, I care not who makes the laws," because it's really the money that seems to control everything. I mean, there was one country where basically the two leaders were beheaded because of the monetary control. They were selling all their wheat to pay off their debts.
Right.
And not feeding the actual people. Meanwhile,
yeah.
their own constituents, their own citizens were starving to death.
It happened in China when the Ming Dynasty fell. Countless cases where these money grabbers try to seize more and more control. Now, somebody made a good point. Vorpalbite says, so what if there is unlimited oil? Can the atmosphere take the air pollution? No. The answer is no. The atmosphere is effectively killing off people and little animals and plant life. So we do have to be vigilant and start working on solving the air pollution problem. I need to redirect the argument from the greenhouse gas issue, which is a hot point disagreement between left and right, to air pollution. I don't know one Republican or one Democrat that really enjoys breathing their mufflers. Seriously. And when you look at all the greenhouse gases that are produced by automobiles and then go 5 times as much and talk about animals, the livestock produces 5 times more greenhouse gas than automobiles. And remember, folks, we're not making maximum efficient use of the oil. 85% of that potential oil and potential energy is going out your muffler.
Yeah, you know what? One thing I really heard, we went to this, it was a conference about like green energy.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I really stuck with me from that was oil is too valuable to be burned.
So true.
Because
Yeah.
oil is used in everything from clothing. I'm pretty sure this is probably made out of oil to computer
synthetics.
parts and carpeting and housing, plastics,
Yeah.
and it's we can use it for so many different things, and yet we're just burning it.
We're burning it, wasting it. So we want to expand the use of our oil into future generations. And I do want to make a sensible use of oil, but I don't think we have to worry about it drying up anytime soon. So if you're really concerned about that, all that's coming out of some sort of a CIA plot room. The idea of limited resources has no doubt been generated to make us all worry that the end of the world is near. There's nothing that will provoke that other than greed. Greed will be the only thing in mankind's history, throughout history, that is the end game. It creates disparity, massive disparity, and these people who are greedy, they're getting so much money, printed money from the Federal Reserve, they don't even know when to stop taking it. That's how
Right.
bad this is. And they look at us, we, the American people, as peons, imbeciles, cattle. We need to organize a third party, and we need to do it now.
Absolutely.
That's what
Now,
we're trying to do tonight. Go
Carl
ahead.
Ray Miller has
Carl.
or Awesome Carl. I'm not sure what he
Carl,
likes to do.
thank you.
But
Awesome
Carl has a theory on oil. If you're there, Carl, you
Sure.
can go ahead and
What's
say
your
that.
theory on oil, Carl?
Well, my theory is it's kind of crazy to think we're running out because it's taken millions of years for this stuff to create. How would us humans, even with all our technical advances, use up all those resources in, 120, 30 years when it comes to oil?
Exactly. The idea is if we continue growing as a population and we all continue to burn oil like the gas companies are burning, remember these carburetors we're driving around in are like dinosaurs in our engine. We could have vapor cartridges which would produce 200 mile per gallon results. We could easily get 200 miles per gallon out of gas. It's the most explosive and dynamic fuel ever developed. In fact, they lowered the quality of gas because they realized it was so amazing. So bear in mind, they purposely made gas so it's not efficient. Now we believe that efficiency is the key, and our country can lead in this trend around the world, and we can develop innovations that other countries will want. This will instantly see a difference in our economy. We'll begin seeing production. We'll begin seeing imports, exports increase on both sides because we'll be trading again. What Obama is doing is ending a marketplace by turning a blind eye to the problems inherent in it. Basically, we need to handle more production. We need to get back to what we used to do as a nation. No longer outsource and globalize. We need to start making things again, folks. And I have great ideas that we put together. Along with Sarah and I have put together a book called Hybrid Capitalism. It's in our store at our main site, americasthirdparty.com, and you can buy that book and find out all these great innovative ideas that will stimulate the innovations necessary to get our economy rolling. That's what we're hoping for. And if you read that book, if catch it online even or download it, it will be a vision or a glimpse into what the future will be like for America in 50 years with us as your leader.
Definitely.
So we're going to end this recorded broadcast. We like to do these things every night just to show you that we're on it every single night. We're in our 1,400 and I believe, it's over 30.
Over 1,400
Yeah.
shows. I definitely want to encourage you to come back. We do a show every Monday through Friday, and you can join us live at americasthirdparty.com/video chat. And on the weekends, do you mind if I
Go ahead.
I'll leave that open for anyone that wants to go in. You can start broadcasting there and just chat with each other about politics there.
Right.
Again, it's americasthirdparty.com/video chat.
And our show is, and our entire website is mobile ready for all of you who want to access us on your smart pads, your tablets, whatever. Go for it. We are completely responsive and resizable. We can go to any size on our website. It's very cool. I really admire what you created, Sarah.
Thank you so much. We are going to continue our live show tonight, but if you're watching this and recording on YouTube, join us for our next live show, and that is Monday through Friday, starting at 6 p.m. Pacific.
Good night.